Hello, students of Westside Christian. Welcome. During the STEM challenge time, we are going to go ahead and we're going to be playing with a little bit of Scratch. Today, I am going to be showing you how to make a chase game using Scratch. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and start it. If at any point in time you feel like you could complete it later on, then go ahead, just complete it. That's absolutely fine. Let's expand this real quick. This is basically the chase game that you're going to do. Basically, you're going to have two characters. One is chasing the other one. My frog is what I'm controlling, chasing the grasshopper. And it's making a little sound, and it's got a little gotcha counter. So whenever it touches, it gets, a little gotcha thing going on. Okay? I better shut that down a second. Boom, you peeked at the code there, and that's okay. So to do that, we're going to go to scratch.mit.edu. Okay, and that basically opens up our little Scratch guy. Alrighty, go to create, and Scratch is basically using coding, using block coding to do different stuff. All right, so this is what you start out with. Start with a little cat. That guy is called a sprite, and you can make him move around, stuff like that. I'm going to get rid of my cat, and I'm going to choose something different. You can choose whatever you want. Some of these characters have more trouble with playing sound than others, but you can choose whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to choose my frog. All right. And go ahead and just place them anywhere that you want. I'm also going to make a backdrop. Now I'm going to change my backdrop from what I had last time. I'm going to choose something different. I just felt like the frog blended in a little bit too much. This is a little bit different green, so I think this is enough contrast where you can see it pretty well. Okay. Now we don't want to be in the backdrop. See this code for the backdrop right here? We don't want to be in there. We want to be in the code for the frog. So I'm going to click on my frog here. Boom, and I got my little frog. First thing we need to do is to be able to move the frog around, okay? Down here, I'm gonna go to control. Nope, I'm not. I'm gonna go to events, all right? Now I'm gonna use this button here, okay? So when spacebar is pressed, it could do something. I don't want to press the spacebar. I want to use my arrow keys. So I'm gonna hit when my right arrow key is pressed, I want my little froggy guy to move. So I want him to move to the right. I'm going to go to motion. Now I'm just going to say move 10 steps. Let's test it out often, see if it works. When I hit my right arrow, boom, he moves to the right, okay? In a later challenge, we're going to see how to make him move a little bit faster and a little bit smoother. But for right now, we have him moving to the right. Now it's bad because I'm hitting my left arrow. He's not moving to the left. Why? Because we didn't program that. Now, when left arrow is pressed, now I don't want him to move 10 steps to the right. We're going to use that same icon, move 10 steps, but this time I'm going to make it -10, the opposite of 10 steps. Now if I hit my left arrow, he moves to the left. He goes -10. So now we have him going left and right. A little bit boring yet because I would like him to be able to go up and down, okay? If at any point you think you know how to do this by yourself, go ahead, pause it, and see if you can complete it by yourself. See if you can keep going by yourself, because that's going to be good learning. But I'm going to continue the tutorial as well because you have that pause button. All right. So here I'm going to say when the up arrow is pressed, go back to motion. These 10 steps are going to go left and right. This axis, left and right, that's actually called the x-axis. Up and down is actually called the y-axis. Why? I don't know, but up and down is the y-axis, okay? So when the up arrow is pressed, I'm going to go down here to change y by 10. Boom, change y by 10. Test it. Always test early, test often. He goes up, he does not come back down, okay? So to obey the law of gravity, I'm going to go to events. When down arrow is pressed, then he is going to go, it's going to be once again that change y by, not the change x, but the change y by, no, we don't want 10 this time, we want negative 10, okay? Now what goes up must come down. So we can get our little frog to come back down. So we can zoom all over the place, all right? Pretty cool, but we want to have him have something to chase. So down here, hopefully you can see it, the little sprite looks like a little cat head with a plus on it. It says choose sprite. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and I'm going to use my grasshopper again, if I can find him. Oh, there he is, boom. I'm going to go ahead and put a grasshopper in there, okay? Now this grasshopper is two things I want you to notice. One thing, we are now making code for the grasshopper, not code for the frog. We would click on the frog if we want to do code for the frog. We're making code for the grasshopper. The other thing is, this grasshopper looks pretty big, okay? So what I would like you guys to be able to do is, down here, see it where it says size 100? I'm going to shrink that little guy down. I'm going to say 50, okay? 100 means it's 100%. 50 is half of 100, so it's going to make him half as big. Now I'm a little bit not liking my color choice in the background because he's blending in a little bit too well, but we're going to go with it. Maybe that's just going to make the game just a little bit tougher, okay? So we have him there, all right? Events. We want him just to move around random. To start it, we're going to hit when the green flag is clicked. So you see this green flag up here? When the green flag is clicked, we're going to start stuff moving. This time we're going to want it in a forever loop because whatever we have put in here is just going to repeat forever and ever and ever. Amen. Okay? So we have it in a forever loop. Now I believe we want to go to motion. Okay? And then we're going to go glide 1 second to a random position. Okay? Now that just means that, just exploring there a little bit, and this means that the computer will choose a random position, and it's going to take 1 second for the grasshopper to get there. And they'll choose another position. It'll take 1 second for the grasshopper to get there. If you want to slow it down, change the glide to 2. And it'll take 2 seconds to get there. And that'll make the grasshopper go slower. He'll actually be easier to catch. Okay? Let's see if that works. He's gone. Choose another position. Gone. Boom. And it doesn't have to like hit a wall or anything like that. Okay? Alright, that's too slow for me. I'm going to put that back to 1 second. Alright. I like that better. He's going a little bit faster. I like that. So we're going to go with that. Now if you ever want to stop it, you just hit the little stop sign right there. And it does the opposite of makes it go. Okay? Alright. So we have our frog, we got our grasshopper, we have the background. We just want it to make a sound whenever the frog catches the grasshopper. And I'm going to show you how to put a little counter in there. To do that, we have to go back to the code for the frog. Notice right now, we're in the code for the grasshopper. We're going to go to the code for the frog. Okay? Events, we're going to use when the green flag is clicked. We only have to click it once to start the grasshopper and to start this little frog counter type thing. You can move him at any time, but it won't do anything, won't make any sounds, or won't do any counting until the green flag is clicked. Okay? Once again, we want the forever loop here, because whatever we put in here, we want to keep going on forever and ever. Okay? So the forever loop. Now, what we're going to do is, down here in sensing is an important command. Okay? This touching one. Alrighty? Touching mouse pointer. This is going to be for the frog right there. Okay? Let's see here. make sure I get the correct thing going on. Okay, so I'm actually going to get rid of this forever loop right here. Oh no, we're just going to put something inside of it. Boom. Now this is going to go on forever, but if touching the mouse pointer, okay, we don't want that. If, remember, we're in the code for the frog, if the frog is touching the grasshopper, then what do you want it to do? We're going to make it play a sound. Okay, let's go ahead and see if that works. Boom, touched him, boom, got it. Alrighty, now that's a pretty fun little game right there, but it's kind of hard if you want to like challenge someone else to it to see who got more touches or who got more points. So let's go ahead and add that in, okay? Back to here, when it's clicked forever, if it's touching the grasshopper, then play a sound, all right? Let's make a variable. Now variables are a little bit tough, but think of a variable as a little box. And inside that box, you can put numbers or different things. Numbers work best just because computers work absolutely wonderful with numbers. So I'm going to make a variable, all right? I'm going to call it score. Gonna hit OK. Now, here's our little variable right here, score, okay? Now down here, we have a whole bunch of options that we can do. I'm going to grab this one, change my variable by 1. I'm going to put it right under play sound pop. Okay, so it's going to play the sound and it's going to change. I don't want it to change my variable because I made my variable called score. I want it to change score because that's a variable that I named, okay, that I made. So I'm going to change the score by 1. So let's try that. Hit the little green flag. Oh. And you can see right here, every time the frog touches the grasshopper, and it touches it for a little bit, it gives you a point. Okay? If you want to, for a challenge, you can figure out how to slow that down. Slow it down so you only get 1 pop every time they touch, the frog and the grasshopper touch. You can change that in the coding. But pretty good. You can full screen it like this if you want to. We have learned how to make a little guy move, make another little guy move at random, how to put in a background, and how to make a popping sound and a variable go up whenever they are touching. So hopefully you had fun. Go ahead, try this, try it on your own, try it without the instructions. There are tutorials on to do exactly this thing on Scratch as well. There's tons of games that you can figure out how to play and code them yourself on YouTube. Have fun, explore. Have a great day.